What a day, what a glorious day, what a ride. Sometimes something is so entirely much of what it is that it could never be anything else. Destiny can only be destiny in hindsight, so let's rouse the war boys to be forever Chrome in Valhalla.
Furiosa! We've come too far. Furiosa! They took Furiosa!
Your favorite Eldritch Horror here, bringing you a review of Mad Max Furiosa. And what an excellent movie it was. It was split into 5 major chapters, and I never at any point felt the 2.5-hour runtime. In fact, the movie cruised by at a very nice rate, likely due to the extreme pace of action from the beginning to the end. I mean, really, this movie, I believe, easily surpassed the first in scope of battle and carnage. Each of the 5 parts had a beginning, middle, and end, character arcs and conclusions, loose ends tied up neatly, and plenty of high-intensity action. I am absolutely blown away by the quality of writing. None of the characters were stupid or shallow, none of them poorly written or conducted with lazy motivation. Oh, and the war! Good god damn the war! In this movie, my god, talk about the glory of combat! I was so taken aback that I actually sat and read the names, chiefly of who wrote this, who directed it, and who is in charge of cinematography. Those in reverse order being Simon Dugan, George Miller, and Nick Lathoris. These guys deserve some serious praise. They didn't just create a great film, they created a prequel to a beloved New World classic, and their film arguably eclipses the original. There was one scene where Dr. Dementus arrives at the Citadel with his whole army, a grand scale, at least 1,000 men on motorcycles. There are moments of tension, moments where they hurl insults at each other. Then the war boys along the defenses rain death from above, and my god, it is a magnificent battle scene. I believe it is harder to write villains than heroes, because the villains have to be believable. Only children can suspend their disbelief in fear of the idea of a villain. Adults need receipts. We need to be shown, not told, that a villain is worthy of being feared. And these villains, a collection of evil factions, they trade blows and play a game of wasteland politics and war, subterfuge and sabotage, and once again, the writers hit this out of the park. All of the factions have their moments in the sun, and others of great loss. Finally, I am incredibly impressed by the sheer amount of storytelling they packed into this movie. As I mentioned earlier, I didn't feel the 2.5-hour runtime, and I was impressed 5 times in a row by how they complete each chapter of the film. This was a masterpiece of film, and certainly in the running for the best movie of the year. I give Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, a 21 out of 21. That's right. A perfect score. I can't find anything significantly wrong with this film. 7 out of 7 sacrifice cultists. The creativity, aesthetics, and cinematography were outstanding. Truly, the entire production crew were at the top of their game. Even the writers deftly integrated information from the first film to ensure canonical continuity. It was a thing of beauty. 7 out of 7 screams of the damned. The characters were believable, the acting superb, and the emotional impact real. The movie doesn't shy away from introducing somebody you should care about and then torturing them to death in the next chapter. This movie set an actress as the lead that frankly I wasn't so sure about. But the way they wrote her and the way her character goes about her business, I was entirely sold. Hell, even the child actress who played Furiosa during the first chapter was excellent. Though, to be fair, she had essentially no dialogue, which I really appreciate. 7 out of 7 Tentacles of Cthulhu. I was absolutely engaged the whole film. They put the pedal down to the floor and kept it there for nearly the entire 2.5 hours. I mean, imagine the density of material required to keep that degree of pace. In fact, according to an article from Screen Rant, a single 15-minute action scene from this film took 200 stunt people 78 days to shoot. I mean, come on, people. What a effort. The plot and the writing was masterful. Never once did my suspension of disbelief fail or was even really threatened. Never once did I fundamentally disagree with any of the major or minor plot points or character motivations. They wove a web of beautiful destruction across the wasteland, and this movie will be forever cemented next to Fury Road and the Mel Gibson Mad Max classics. Perhaps even first among equals. I give this movie my highest possible recommendation. I saw it in Dolby Digital, and I highly suggest you stop what you're doing, abandon your job, family, and interests, and go see this movie immediately. You won't regret it. And that's all for now, mortals. Take care.